Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
What I saw was unimaginable. Fiona was entangled with not just Lucas, but also Noah and Ryan, three men. They were completely intertwined. Fiona's face was unrecognizable, radiating ecstasy as she trembled. What is this? I was so stunned I froze. I thought I'd feel anger or jealousy, but I was too shocked to feel anything. My name is Ivan, and I'm 43 years old. I'm an ordinary public servant working in a small office at City Hall. My workplace is tied down by rigid rules, which can feel stifling at times. The lack of flexibility adds to the daily stress. Still, people often say this job is stable and the vacation system is well structured, allowing for extended time off. But as always, the system and reality don't quite align. The system seems great in theory, but in reality, it's hard to make it work. I'm swamped with paperwork and tasks daily. On top of that, the peculiar rigidity of public service and outdated rules wear me down mentally. Honestly, I can't say I genuinely enjoy this job, but I have a family to support, and I'm not bold enough to walk away from a job I've been doing for years. I tell myself, Ivan, put some passion into it, but I just get swept up in the repetitive daily grind. I have a wife named Fiona, who is 40, 3 years younger than me. We have an elementary school-aged son, Jake, who's in 5th grade. Fiona works part-time at a local grocery store, juggling her job with housework and parenting. I'm honestly in awe of how amazing she is. I want to say, Fiona, you did great today, but in the rush of daily life, I often forget to tell her. Early in our marriage, I used to help with dishes or cleaning, but over time, I've leaned on work's too hectic as a cop-out and left most of the household chores to Fiona. After work, I shower, collapse on the couch, and fall asleep. I don't have the energy to help Jake with his homework. On weekends, urgent calls from the office or catching up on overdue tasks keep me from spending time with my family. Fiona's gentle voice pleading, Ivan, please take a break and spend time with us, echoes in my mind. But my response is always, it'll all work out soon. At first, Fiona would lightly complain, can you help out a bit? I'd brush it off with, I know, but I'm really swamped right now. Over time, though, her complaints dwindled away, and eventually, our conversations dwindled away. We didn't even argue. There was just no dialogue. Fiona took on all the responsibilities, from school events to household tasks, while I did the bare minimum. Ivan, I'll handle the parent-teacher meeting, she'd say, managing everything. Years of this routine built an invisible wall between us. Our physical intimacy as a couple nearly vanished. I wasn't the only one using tiredness as an excuse. Fiona, exhausted from housework, parenting, and her job, must have accumulated her own frustrations with me. I'd sigh, wondering, how did we get here? But neither of us had the energy to reconnect. Then, a shift happened out of nowhere. Jake was going on a 3-day, 2-night school retreat, and some neighborhood moms were buzzing with excitement, saying, while the kids are away, let's go on a getaway. These were people I'd briefly met at Jake's school events or our daughter Ava's activities, but I hardly ever spoke to them. I skipped most parent meetings or community barbecues because of work. Fiona, however, was active with her coworkers from the store and local gatherings. She was like the heart of the group. I marveled to myself, Fiona, you're such a natural with people, but I never said it out loud. She often enjoyed brunches with friends or chatted lively over texts. One day, Fiona looked at me hesitantly and said, Ivan, during Jake's retreat, my friends and I are planning to go to a resort by the lake. Want to come? Her eyes lit up with hope. I shook my head and replied, sorry, I can't take time off work right now. It's impossible. Her face darkened instantly. Oh, that's too bad. Everyone said it'd be fun if you came, she said, her voice tinged with disappointment. I felt a pang of guilt but brushed it off with, work's just too hectic. Still, Fiona didn't give up. One night, with tears in her eyes, She grabbed my arm and pleaded, "Ivan, please come with me. I'll feel awkward going alone." I was really looking forward to this. Her earnest expression shook me. "You really want to go that badly?" I asked. She nodded. "Yes, please." Truthfully, I had some paid vacation days left. As a public servant, the leave system is solid, but the office culture makes it hard to take time off. Still, I thought if I organized my work and talked to my boss, it might be possible. For the first time in ages, I worked up the nerve to request a few days off. My boss, John, raised an eyebrow and said, "Ivan, it'll be tough without you, but I guess we can manage for this period." He reluctantly approved it. So, I secured a short leave and joined Fiona and her friends for the resort trip. I had no idea this trip would change everything. On the day of the trip, we met in the community center parking lot. A few friends with SUVs drove us to the lakeside resort. The group included 5 women: Fiona, Sophia, 43, Olivia, 40, Chloe, 38, and Amelia, 40, and 4 men: Sophia's husband Ryan, Olivia's husband Lucas, Amelia's husband Noah, Chloe's husband Jaden, and me, making 9 in total. The kids were at their retreat, and it felt like a rare chance to break free from our everyday grind. This might be fun, I mused with a smile. After a few hours' drive, we arrived at a luxurious lakeside resort. Since we rarely went on family vacations, being in such a beautiful place felt like a treat. I heard there were 2 large suites and a few double rooms for couples. But as soon as we arrived, Fiona and her friends were buzzing with excitement, saying, "Let's all hang out in the big rooms." Sophia laughed and said, "Ivan, it'll be fun to join us." Room assignments were loosely decided, but the vibe was casual. After checking in, we dipped in the pool, then relaxed with cocktails at the lounge. Dinner was a lavish buffet at the resort's restaurant: steaks, seafood, desserts, the works. When will I ever get to enjoy this kind of luxury again? I thought, grabbing a fork, ready to dig in. The drinks kept coming. Fiona and I, free from parenting duties, drank more than usual. The table was loaded with beer, wine, and whiskey, and I felt a bit dizzy. "Ivan, another round?" Lucas teased with a grin. The group was surprisingly warm, and Fiona was radiant at the center of it all. Her vibrant smile was one I hadn't seen in years. I felt a bit out of place but thought, this vibe isn't so bad. Then, mid-laughter, Sophia's husband Ryan suddenly said, "All right, how about we swap partners?" His tone, maybe fueled by alcohol, was hard to read. Was it a joke or serious? I froze. "What?" I wanted to ask, but my voice wouldn't come out. The women exchanged awkward glances. Sophia laughed and said, "Ryan, you're too blunt." Olivia chimed in, "But it's about time we brought it up, right?" I was completely thrown off. What are they talking about? I was freaking out inside. I looked at Fiona, and she lowered her eyes with a guilty expression. "Ivan, this trip, it was planned with that in mind from the start. I didn't tell you because I thought you'd never come," she said, her voice trembling. Anger surged within me. "What? You never mentioned this. What's going on, Fiona?" My voice rose, and the others quickly tried to calm me down. Amelia smiled and said, "Ivan, it's okay. No one's forcing you. It's just for fun." Sophia added, "You've been drinking, so you can't drive back now anyway." She was right. We'd driven hours to the lake, and it was late at night, no other options. I felt totally trapped. The fact that Fiona knew about this plan and dragged me into it made my emotions swirl. I wanted to ask, "Fiona, is this really what you wanted?" But her hopeful eyes stopped me from refusing outright. Swept up in the moment, I said, "Fine. If it's not a big deal, I'll see how it goes." Deep down, I admitted our relationship had grown cold, and a risky curiosity sparked in me. Maybe this could shake things up. The stress from work and a craving for something out of the ordinary sparked something reckless in me. Olivia suggested, "Let's draw names to pair up." She wrote the women's names on slips of paper, like it was a game, and the men would draw. It seemed ridiculous, but I was already swept up in the moment. With trembling hands, I drew a slip. Chloe's name was on it. Chloe, 38, was a soft-spoken woman who always smiled. Her cheeks were flushed from the alcohol. She approached me and whispered, "Ivan, it's me. Let's make it fun." Her smile was warm, but I replied awkwardly, yeah, you too." My pulse was racing. Meanwhile, Fiona was paired with Olivia's husband, Lucas. Lucas, 40, worked in IT and had an athletic, charming demeanor. Standing next to Fiona, they looked like a good match. An odd sense of anxiety crept over me. Fiona with a guy like him. And so, the bizarre partner swap game began. People started getting cozy with their new partners, lightly touching arms or shoulders. I plastered on a smile, but inside, I was reeling. What am I doing? Sophia and Noah were the first to get bold. They grew noticeably close, and Sophia giggled. "Noah, stop it," before their faces drew near, and they kissed. I looked at Sophia's husband, Ryan, bracing for jealousy, but he just laughed and said, "Noah's totally drunk." His casual reaction shocked me. It seemed to embolden the others. Chloe whispered, "Ivan, don't be so tense." She gently took my hand. My heart was in my throat. Holding another woman's hand at my age felt so unfamiliar. Fiona and I hadn't even done that in ages. Chloe's hand was warm, and I felt an odd thrill. "It's fine, just have fun," I told myself, gripping her hand back, emboldened by the alcohol. When I put my arm around her shoulder, her softness sent a jolt through me. How can this feel so exciting? A strange emotion spread within me. Chloe smiled and said, "Ivan, just enjoy today." Her playful, yet warm gaze pulled me in. Then Sophia and Noah stood up. "We're heading to our room," Sophia said with a wink. I recalled there were couples' rooms besides the suites, so they must have gone there. "Are we all splitting off now?" I wondered, confused but carried by the moment. Chloe whispered, "Ivan, shall we go too?" Her voice was gentle but firm. I nodded, almost on autopilot. I glanced at Fiona. She was laughing with Olivia and Amelia, but Lucas was watching her with an uneasy expression. "Is Fiona okay?" I wondered briefly, but I was already moving. I followed Chloe to a separate room, in a daze. As the door closed, the noise of the party faded, and my heart pounded louder. Chloe took my hand and said, "Sit here." She led me to the bed. I followed in a daze. "Work been tough lately?" she asked with a smile. "Yeah, same old, same old," I replied, chuckling awkwardly. She nodded. "Then let's unwind tonight." "I need it too." She leaned closer. The scent of her perfume tickled my nose. Her gentle hand grazed my arm, and I held my breath. "Is this okay?" I thought, but her gaze drew me in. She placed her hand on my shoulder and whispered, "Relax, Ivan. This is our moment." I held her hand. Her warmth sent a jolt through me. I haven't felt this with Fiona in so long. The thought flashed, but I was losing control. Chloe leaned against me, her soft curves pressing into me. My heart felt like it would explode. "Just feel it," she whispered, kissing my neck. A thrill shot through me. I wrapped my arms around her waist, sinking into her warmth. Her lips met mine. The tender, warm kiss left me dizzy. When was the last time I felt this? I pulled her closer, tracing her silhouette. Chloe whispered, "Ivan, how do I feel?" Her eyes were playful yet serious. "Too good," I answered honestly, sliding off her blouse. Her skin was soft and warm. As I traced her back, she let out a soft moan. "Ivan, keep going," she urged, her voice trembling with desire. I placed my hand on her chest. The soft, firm sensation took my breath away. She guided my hand deeper. "Here, harder," she said. I held her tightly, her moans filling the room. "Ivan, this is amazing." Her voice grew louder, igniting my desire. I caressed her thighs, moving deeper. She trembled, pulling me closer. "Ivan, now," she said, her eyes burning. We shed our clothes, becoming one. Her warmth and softness enveloped me. "This is intense." I moved with her rhythm, faster and faster. "Ivan, harder," she whispered. I gave in to her, swept away by her words. Her moans grew louder, and I raced toward climax. Everything exploded, my mind going blank. Chloe. I called her name, holding her tightly. We caught our breath, looking into each other's eyes. Chloe smiled. Ivan, how was it? Her cheeks were flushed, her eyes sparkling. Words can't describe, it was unreal. I panted. She kissed my cheek and whispered, "Me too." We lay there, feeling each other's warmth. But my mind wandered. What's Fiona doing right now? Chloe got up. Ivan, come here. She led me to a full-length mirror. Her reflection was stunning. Let's do it here, she said playfully, taking my hand. I held her in front of the mirror, our eyes meeting in the reflection. This is too much. I embraced her from behind, starting again. Her moans echoed off the mirror, filling the room. Ivan, feel me more, she cried. I was completely consumed. We hit that high again, collapsing onto the bed, breathless. This feels like a dream, I thought, holding her hand. Chloe leaned against me and whispered, Ivan, tonight's unforgettable. I nodded with a smile, but Fiona's image lingered. A twinge of guilt hit me, but exhaustion took over, and I fell asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night. Chloe was sound asleep beside me, her steady breathing calming. I stared at the ceiling, dazed. Is this real? My body felt weighed down from the drinks and passion, but my heart raced, keeping me awake. Thirsty, I left the room to get water from a vending machine in the lobby. The hallway was silent, but a faint light spilled from a room ahead. Who's up this late? Curiosity drew me nearer. As I approached, I heard soft voices. My heart sank. It was Fiona's voice. Fiona. With trembling hands, I cracked the door open. What I saw was unimaginable. Fiona was entangled with not just Lucas, but also Noah and Ryan. 3 men. They were completely intertwined. Fiona's face was unrecognizable, radiating ecstasy as she trembled. What is this? I was so stunned I froze. I thought I'd feel anger or jealousy, but I was too shocked to feel anything. I stood silently at the door, watching. Fiona gripped Lucas's shoulders, letting out deep moans. Noah gently wrapped his arms around her waist, whispering something softly. Ryan took her hand, guiding it to his thigh. They explored her with care. Lucas kissed her neck slowly, deeply, while Noah slipped off her blouse, revealing her trembling skin under the light. Fiona surrendered to their touch, her passionate moans filling the room. Her body swayed with their rhythm, and my heart pounded in sync. What am I witnessing? Anger and curiosity swirled in my head. I knew I should stop, but my feet wouldn't move. This wasn't the quiet, reserved Fiona I knew from home. She was liberated, passionate, and vibrant. Fiona can be like this. More than jealousy, I was struck by this new side of her. I swallowed hard, unable to look away. I don't know how long I stood there, snapping out of it. I closed the door and stumbled back to the hallway. My heart was still racing, my hands shaking. Why was Fiona with them? Questions raced through my mind, but a strong emotion took hold. Her expression, her passion, awakened something dormant in me. Did I truly understand her? I couldn't return to the room yet. I bought water from the vending machine and sank into a lobby sofa, wrestling with my thoughts for an hour. As dawn approached, I calmed slightly. I should go back. I slipped back into the room. Chloe was still asleep, her peaceful face stirring mixed feelings. I crawled into bed, closed my eyes, but Fiona's image burned vividly. I couldn't sleep, facing the morning with tired eyes. At breakfast, Fiona sat at the restaurant table, looking slightly tired but in good spirits. Her eyes glowed. When our eyes met, she smiled and said, "Good morning, Ivan." I replied awkwardly, Morning." Her smile left me unsure how to respond. We sat down, sipping coffee as if nothing had happened. Fiona chatted lightly with Sophia and Amelia. "We drank so much last night. I almost got a hangover," she laughed. Sophia nodded. "Totally, it was wild." Their words drifted past me. The shock from the night lingered. Was that not a dream? I felt like I was on another planet. Then Sophia addressed everyone. "Did you all have fun last night?" Her tone was playful. Olivia and Amelia laughed, saying, "We kept drinking wine in the big room and passed out. Totally knocked out." They must have stayed in the suite, while Noah and Ryan joined Fiona's room. I glanced at Fiona. She ate her salad calmly, smiling. Is she really acting like nothing happened? I couldn't bring myself to ask her outright. Fiona turned to me. Ivan, how was last night? Her eyes were warm, but they held a newfound confidence. I stammered, it was fun. My voice shook slightly. She nodded, smiling. Good to hear. That smile wasn't just kindness. It glowed with freedom and confidence, unlike the Fiona I knew. Her transformation shook me. Fiona can be like this. My heart swelled with love, but a fear of losing her crept in. The vivid memory of her intensity fueled both desire and possessiveness. She's still my Fiona. I can't let her slip away. The trip ended as if nothing had happened. We drove home, and the next day, life picked back up. My desk was piled with paperwork, and I returned to a life of rules and routines. But something in me had changed. The exhausted Ivan now saw Fiona anew. That intense scene, her unfamiliar side, wouldn't leave my mind. At first, I was angry at her actions, but that anger morphed into fear of losing her and a burning need to keep her close. Strangely, I felt no disgust, only attraction to her newfound allure, a growing curiosity and love. Did I miss this side of her all along? Her vibrant image haunted me. Did I misunderstand Fiona? It was hard to grasp, but I began seeing her as a woman again. Had I missed this side of her all this time? Every glance at her sparked new desire. The urge to claim her felt as intense as when we first dated. Even worn out from work, I found myself wondering about her day. Fiona, how was today? I'd ask, and she'd smile brightly. Crazy busy. You. Unlike her old Kurt, I'm back. She now greeted me warmly. Want some coffee? She'd offer, warming my heart. When I helped Jake with homework or played with him, Fiona beamed. Ivan, thanks. That means a lot. Her smile warmed my heart. I craved more time with her. Our physical intimacy grew too. It felt awkward at first, but once we started, the passion was on a whole new level. Fiona, you're so beautiful, I whispered, holding her. She smiled in my arms. Ivan, I love you too. Her newfound boldness was thrilling, and the memory of that night fueled deeper emotions. Her breath, her sweaty skin, her free movements swirled in my mind, igniting a desire to make her mine again. I never imagined, a decade into marriage, we'd rediscover this passion. Funny enough, that trip brought us back together. A few days later, Sophia texted, Ivan, wasn't the trip fun? Let's do it again. I replied simply, yeah, it was great. I asked Fiona, they invited us again. What do you think? She smiled. What do you think? I can't take leave often, and going through that again seems overwhelming. Honestly, thinking of Fiona that night still stirs complex feelings. That moment will stick with me for life. But it awakened a new desire in me. Fiona became infinitely precious. Ivan, cherish your time with her, I vowed. Instead of getting lost in work stress, I want to cherish every moment with Fiona.